Well, good morning. Happy Monday. I have filmed 2 videos since the holidays that when I went to edit them just didn't really work. I couldn't get them together. And I think that is a sign of just how kind of much I'm struggling right now mentally. I know I shared kind of after the election that it was rough, and that has remained. And since the inauguration, some very real things have happened that truly do affect my family. I don't go into a lot of detail on that on YouTube just for my family's protection. I don't talk specifically, but things are definitely hard right now. Yeah. So I'm going to try vlogging again this week, and we'll see where it takes us. If we haven't met yet, thanks for being here. My name's Tiffany. I am a grad student in a mental health counseling program, and I am also a mom to 4 kids, and I share kind of what that journey is like being in grad school while parenting. And yeah, I'm excited to take you along this week. I am glad to share that I have therapy this morning. So that's up first this week. And it's actually kind of exciting because my therapist was part of a large group practice. And today is her first day in her own office. She started her own business. I'm really excited for her. I'm proud of her and excited to see the new space. So that's going to be really cool, and I've got a lot to talk about with her because last week was terrible. So, thanks for being here, and let's get into this week. All right, well, I have been back from therapy for a while, and I just submitted a couple assignments, and it took longer than I thought because these assignments, especially the one, had some intricacies in submitting. There were a lot of different kind of pieces of it. And so I thought that I would just kind of give you an update on how this quarter is going so far. So this is quarter 10 of 12 quarters. It's a 3-year program. And I am in the internship phase, which is different from the practicum in that it's the same thing that we're doing in our clinical work. We're still counseling, obviously, but it is a lot more hours. I'm at the same site that I was, so for me, again, the only real difference is the hours. Practicum was 3 quarters, internship is 3 quarters, and during practicum, you need 50 direct hours and a total of 200 hours. So everything else that you do other than seeing clients, like case note writing, planning for the visit, reading books that help you understand counseling better. Heck, even my own personal therapy sessions count as indirect hours because you can use that as personal growth. So lots of things count for indirect, but direct has to be face-to-face with a client. And during practicum, I needed 50 of those, and I got that very easily. I had more than twice the number of needed hours. But internship, you need 240 direct hours and 600 hours total. So the rest of that is all indirect, which again is very easy to get the indirect. But the direct hours is a lot. And so I need to be seeing about 8 to 10 clients every single week. And I'm doing well so far on hours. But I do need my caseload to kind of steadily keep, where it's at. Because I have 14 or 15 clients, but most of those are every other week. A couple of them are even every once a month. And so, if I need 10 visits a week, having close to 20 clients wouldn't be a bad thing, since most of them are every other week. So that's where we're at clinically. And then my classes this quarter, one of them is like Methods 3, which is the third of a 3-part series where you get into the nitty-gritty counseling skills. Honestly, I hadn't heard great things about it, and I am not experiencing it as a great thing either. It's fine. It's going to be okay, but there are just some frustrations with it, but that's okay. We'll get through it. And then the other class is just my supervision, my university supervision. If you've watched my videos, I talked a bit about how meaningful this university supervision was during practicum, and now it's a new era. So it's switched from being like about the counselor growing and like focusing on yourself as the counselor and into like case presentations every week. And even though I'm with a lot of the same people, it's a bigger group now. All the students are wonderful, but the vibe is just not the same as my old group. So I am really missing that and really grieving that. It is a significant loss, because the person, my university supervisor, really ran that group like a group therapy group. They can't call it group therapy because it's, still an academic setting, but that's really what the outcome of it was. And so it was hugely beneficial for me. I love therapy in general, if you can't tell by how I've talked about it so far just in this video. And I love group therapy. I've been in a number of different group therapies, so it's something I really enjoy. And actually, tangentially related, one of the things that I'm feeling very frustrated about by like this Methods 3 course is this class is really pushing the narrative of like therapy doesn't last forever and your goal should be to get your clients out of therapy. And I understand from an ethical perspective, like you don't want to be taking money from people longer than they need therapy for. But I myself am team therapy forever. And I really appreciate long-term therapy and see myself as somebody who will probably use therapy as a tool forever. That's not because I don't think I can handle life without therapy. I certainly can, but I get kind of cranky when it's like presented as like, you must end therapy. That is the ultimate goal. If you're not doing that, you are not operating in a social justice oriented way. Like that's kind of the message I'm feeling from this class, which is really pissing me off. So, I know my truth, and I know that I am being ethical with my clients and not continuing to see them when they don't want to be there and when I have no, goals or reason to be seeing them. So I know I'm doing all the right things, but this message from this class is just really pissing me off. So that's the update from this quarter. Out of all the things going on in my life, even though school is sometimes frustrating and has these little frustrations, by and large, school is the best part of it's my life. Obviously my family and my kids are the best part of my life, but there's so many other stressors going on right now that I actually really enjoy school, and it's something that I look forward to that really keeps me going. So, that's a lot to hold on to, and that's a really hopeful thing to have. So anyways, that's the update for now. Mondays I usually don't do a lot of schoolwork, and today we're going to have dinner at a friend's house, and I'm hopping on the phone actually with a different counselor for a different related thing soon. And I really need to get to the grocery store to get 1 or 2 stuff for meals for dinners this week, because it's a really goofy week, meal-wise. So that's my plan. See you later. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I am here in my office. I just had one visit this morning. It was an EMDR visit, and I was supposed to have another one at 10:30, but they ended up rescheduling to next week. So that's kind of good. I was worried coming into this quarter that Tuesdays were going to be really crazy because I always have a 9 o'clock visit, and then I have to be out of the office by the afternoon because other clinicians need this office. And so I was running into this thing where I was like going to have one in-person visit and then try to rush home for one virtual visit and then jump right into class at 12 and then have another visit many Tuesdays at right as soon as class ended, and then run out the door to pick up my kid for an appointment that they have every Tuesday. And it was feeling like a lot, but I only had one Tuesday like that so far, and the rest have been like those other visits just haven't ended up happening the way that it was looking like they were going to, or clients went to every other week, and so it's gotten a lot less like that. Next week is looking like it'll be busy since that one person rescheduled, but today I just had this one visit in the morning, and then I have a little bit of downtime, then class, and then another little bit of downtime before I pick up my kids from school. And so it's turning out okay, but I was worried about that Tuesdays were just going to be boom, 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 and it has slowed down. So that's been nice. So I'm going to stick around at the office for just a few minutes, write this note, and then head back home. Alright, so somewhat eventful drive home from work. I stopped at the grocery store, and while I was there, I got a call from a potential client, not a call, a text through Google Voice. Is, by the way, HIPAA compliant if you sign a BAA, so I don't use that with many clients, but every once in a while, that is the preferred way to connect. And last week, I had sent some resources for both myself and some others because they were wanted to look into insurance providers as well. And we are primarily self-pay at my practice. And so, yeah, I got a call back that they wanted to move forward with me ASAP. So that was good. I was able to schedule something for tomorrow morning and get the paperwork sent. So I did that, but also, completely unrelated to that, when I got to my internship site this morning, my supervisor and I were walking in together, and we were chatting about like grocery lists, and like I was saying how I had forgotten some things yesterday when I went to Trader Joe's, and how I even had a list, but I didn't use the list. I don't know what I was thinking. And she was talking about how a lot of times she leaves her list at home, even if she does make one. I was talking about how I make a list and have it, but don't use it at the store. And then I walk into my office, and one of my coworkers, I see like a grocery list on a Post-it note left on the desk in the office. I was like, oh, okay, looks like she forgot her list as well. And then I come home from the grocery store, and my husband left his lunch that he made on the counter. And I'm like, what is happening? Everybody in my life is having a lot of trouble, like, with this basic need of, like, feeding ourselves. Like, feeding ourselves is very difficult. So I just thought that was kind of funny. I was hoping to get, like, a little bit of a workout in before my class, but I think if I do that now, I'm going to feel a little too rushed. And also, I'm finding all excuses to not move. I'm really struggling with motivation around movement right now, which I know the movement would help me, but I also don't want to overload myself. And, like, I want to also have downtime between things when I can. So I might be able to do something later, but right now is not feeling like the right time. I'm going to try to eat lunch because, as I said, feeding ourselves is hard right now, and do that instead of trying to make myself move right now. So that's where we're at. Well, good morning. We are back to my hair being wild. Unfortunately, I only had it down the last couple days because I got it cut on Saturday, so I was able to go with the salon style for a couple days, and yesterday it was time to wash it again. So today we are back to our favorite duckbill claw clip. Happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh, it's almost like I forgot how to do this. That's crazy. Also, I haven't put it in this, I don't think, since it's been cut. Okay, I think I usually come at it from the other side. I know something about doing it on the screen threw me off. So today I'm a frizzy mess. If you are enjoying the nice manicured hair, which never happens in videos, sorry, we're back to the factory default setting here. So that's that. So with it being Wednesday, today I have 3 visits. I have that one that was added last minute, just last night, and that'll be at 9 a.m. I think it's probably almost 8 now. And then I have a 9 o'clock, a 12 o'clock, and a 1 o'clock. So I'm hoping in that break between 10 and 12 to do my asynchronous schoolwork, and that's the plan for today. And then it'll be school pickup time, and we'll see if I'm able to take you along for anything this evening, if anything fun happens. So come along. Well, hello. Happy Thursday. I'm trying to decide what I think of these waves. I slept with my hair in braids last night. So I didn't hop back on yesterday because it ended up being kind of a stressful day. After my first appointment, I had to pick up my preschooler because unfortunately they found one lice, and he had actually been treated the week before. This was something that I was thinking about talking about in this video anyways. Last week was very stressful because of this, and here's the whole story. Last week I took my son to get a haircut. They found lice, and so we treated the entire family. In that process, I went to Walgreens because it was the fastest, it was the easiest. It was also one of the places I had seen that was not rolling back DEI efforts. And so I thought, good. Well, we had to buy a lot because we're a large family and I was treating everyone. And it was like $44 a bottle at Walgreens. So it ended up, for the 8 bottles we needed, because the nurse at the pediatrician told me that long hair would need 2 bottles, which was not true, but it was $350. Then I find out later at Target and pretty much everywhere else, these bottles were only $18 a bottle for the same thing. So that was very frustrating. I didn't think I needed to price compare this thing. Like, I didn't think it would be that big of a difference. So anyway, I treated everybody. I was really not confident on my hair or my daughter's hair since it's longer and I figured like harder to comb through. I wasn't really sure what I was seeing, so I decided to utilize a service that specializes in removing everything. And we went there last week, and it was a lovely experience, truthfully. They treated us. It was great. And then included in that treatment was a follow-up. And so when I scheduled that, I just scheduled the rest of the family because I said, you know what, we've treated the boys, I've combed them as best I can, I'll keep doing that. But it would be good to just have the professionals who like know what they're doing do that. We had an appointment there scheduled last night anyway, which the timing worked out perfect. Here's the funny thing. The school also hired the same company to come do checks on everybody because it was going around. And unfortunately, they found one on my son in the morning, and so I had to go pick him up after that first appointment. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too long and convoluted of a story to follow, but I was just feeling really discouraged because I felt like I had done everything I could, and I think lice is one of those things where there is a stigma attached to it, and even though everybody knows lice love clean hair and it happens to most people, like it's really okay and it should not be stigmatized. I think when you're dealing with preschool, first of all, the kids are younger, and so the younger the kid, the more likely it is that this is the first time parents have experienced this. So when they hear lice is in the school, like everybody's anxiety raises, and the preschool director gets nervous, and so they take all these measures, which is great. I was really glad that they hired the company to come do checks for everybody. But also, like, when I picked him up, like, he was alone in his classroom. There were 3 people, like, you know, feverishly cleaning and vacuuming everything, and like everything that the slice company told me is like, it really is head-to-head contact. It's really not like the couches and like things like that, it's actually quite rare. And so it just felt like they were sanitizing everything and like not intending to make us feel bad, but it was just hard. It was just hard. And yeah, luckily though, we had our appointments to get checked that night anyway, the whole family. And so they did that, and they told me like I had done a really good job with the treatment that I did, that it just doesn't kill everything. It doesn't kill all the eggs unless you really comb super well and like know how to do it. It can just be really hard. And what was interesting is nothing that the kids who in my family who still had it had was actually contagious like at that time, but obviously if it hadn't been treated it would have gotten to that point. So that's another reason why it was like, yeah, they were cleaning, even though like what he had yesterday, what they found was not contagious, like at that stage of everything. You know what I mean? It's just like, I get it, and precautions are good, but just, I don't know. I've just been feeling some sort of way about it. I scheduled yet another booster therapy appointment. I've been going every other week for a long time, and these last couple months I have had to ask for like, hey, you got anything next week? If so, let me know. I'll take that appointment. So anyway, that's why my hair is wavy. Because I decided to braid it after my check. But I am glad to report that all 6 of us in the family are completely free of the lice situation. And if this ever happens to you, parents or not parents, because it can happen to anyone, but if it happens, I highly recommend using a service if you have any nearby you. Some will come to your house. We went to their office. They, on paper, it seems like it's going to be really expensive, but they actually used they say they do like common sense. So I was like, oh my gosh, is it going to be $600 if all 6 of us needed to be treated? They did not charge that. They only charged last night for 1 treatment, even though 3 of them they technically treated. We were there for less than an hour. It did not take that long. There was not many, and so they didn't charge that. So actually, for the treatment we had last week and last night, that was still less money than that first round of medicine that I bought at Walgreens. So it may not be as expensive as it might seem. And to have someone just do it for you who you know knows what they're doing, highly recommend. So this feels like a vulnerable share. I'll see if I manage to keep it in, but it is one of the things that's been kind of affecting me this week. So I wanted to take you along. I'm back at my office today, working. I had 1 appointment and then 1 cancel, and then I've got supervision in a little bit. So that's how my Thursday's shaping up. Well, hello. Magically, it's Friday. My kitchen, you can see behind me, is a bit of a mess. It actually looks worse on camera, I think, than what it actually is, but I forgot to vlog today. It's Friday, and this morning I had my class, my university supervision, and it was my week to present my case presentation. And so I had gotten that ready a little bit ago, and you have to turn it in like earlier in the week. So it had been turned in and done, but I presented that. And then I had an hour in between the end of that and the start of seeing a client. So I had 2 clients in the office. So I used that hour to go see my clients and then pick up the kids from school and take 2 of them to a haircut. And so that's what I've been up to. By the end of that, I was so hangry. I was very, very, very hungry. I had only had like 2 English muffins in the morning and no protein, and it was bad. That was not a good way to sustain myself. So I was very hungry by the time we got home, and we ate dinner at like, I don't know, 4:30. Right now, what time is it? It is, come on. It is 6:30, and I am hopefully going to take a little bit of a rest soon and possibly work on some schoolwork. It's kind of funny, I actually find Friday evenings, I never plan to do schoolwork, but I find that everybody's kind of relaxed and we don't usually make any plans on Friday night. And while the kids are kind of watching their movies and just hanging out, I find that that's a good time for me to kind of do a little schoolwork, and I'm really relaxed while doing it. So some of it might carry over into tomorrow as well, which is fine because right now trying to get in all these direct hours for internship is really my priority during the week, and so that is leaving a lot of the schoolwork for the weekends, but it's working out okay. So I think I'm going to end the vlog here. Thanks for coming along with me this week, and I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe if you're still here, because we should definitely be friends.